So, I think this is the first entry I've done since October of last year. So, close to a year. Shit tons happened. Last year or the year before. Honestly, I don't really remember. I just remember it was October. It's been like close to a week since I've checked, and I keep meaning to do an update, and I just end up like not. So, first things first. It is May 13th, 2007. It is currently 9:42 a.m. and it is bright and sunny, and I have been off work for almost 3 hours now, and yes, I am still in my work clothes. It's fabulous. Anyways, so quick recap for those of you who don't know. July 8th of last year, I got engaged to Derek, hence this beautiful thing. And yes, I bought the promise rings. They're like, well, technically our promise rings were the Jack and Sally rings that you can get at Hot Topic. These are the engagement rings. It is the one ring from the Lord of the Rings, and yeah. And yes, we have decided on wedding rings if we go with this, which is gonna probably be a few years after we get married before we technically have them, so we'll still be using these at the wedding. But he kind of wanted me to get the Witch Queen ring from Lord of the Rings. I'm really partial to the one with the sapphire. But I had an idea so that, like, if we ever have to take our rings off to do something, you know, we know whose is whose. Technically, they're supposed to be silver. It's a silver ring with a blue sapphire. I am allergic to silver. There's only been one thing that is silver that I've never reacted to, and it is this beauty right here. 0.999 silver. It originally started off about Yibik, and this was around when the movie Sinbad came out, when we went down to Orlando, Florida for the first time to go to Universal Studios. We went into the wrong section. We're kind of bummed out, and right next to like this Sinbad dinner party thing was this promotional thing, and there were these two guys that did this really old style trinket making process, which, I kid you not, the bottom weight, like the slab that it was on, that they would put it on, is like, I'm like 5'6", 5'7", and the piece is about as tall as like my waist is when I stand up, which is about as tall as my daughter, so roughly 3.5 to 4 feet tall. I don't know. I don't really. I don't know. It's a guesstimate. I don't know how tall she technically is either. So, you know. Anyways, you picked out the top design, bottom design. They put each design, you know, on either side of the piece that would get pressed, and then they had this upper weight that is suspended, and it just like, they line it up, make sure it's perfectly set, and then it is loud. Oh my god, it is loud. And so this is what came out of it, and like that whole process, and it was really freaking cool. And like, it wasn't behind anything that they did it. Like, you can literally stand like this close to the mechanism process thingy, whatever. And it was basically like something similar to a pulley system of what everything was suspended up on. It was incredible. Like, you got to see the way that they used to do this shit. And, you know, I got this in 2004. And, you know, it's I should be able to count better than this. Holy shit. 13 years later, I still have it. And it wasn't until like last year before that I finally had to change what I had it on. I still have what I had the pendant on, but the cord is so old that I was starting to get a reaction from having it on. So I actually bought and retied my own adjustable cord, but I will never get rid of it. I actually braided it and I keep it as a charm, and it's still one of the luckiest things I have. I had only taken this thing off maybe 10 times the whole time I had had it, and every time I did, it was just bad luck, like one after another, and actually having to keep this off for so long, at first, like, filled me with panic. Anyways, I only limited this video to 30 minutes, so I might edit it afterwards and cut snippets out, might not, I don't know. Anyways, today is Saturday, the day before Mother's Day, and as some of you may know, and probably a lot of you don't, my mother died to suicide back in 2006, so almost 11 years ago, and it'll be 11 years September 11th. Yes, I know that date is ironic because September 11th of 2001 is when the attack on the Twin Towers hit, and my mom's death is like the reason why I know about that attack, because like I would get really sad and people were like, oh, did you lose someone? I was just like, yeah, Mom died on 9/11. It's just like, oh, she was in the attack? What attack? Yeah, I'm a deads. We had to do like quizzes and shit on this in like 2004, and like I had no idea what was going on, and it was just like, so yeah. Anyways, I didn't. Most of the time growing up, I didn't even know what Mother's Day was. You know, my folks divorced when I was real little. I barely saw my mom after, like, first she had custody of me, but we weren't really very interactive when I lived with her. She was more than I remember, because the older I've gotten, I've found things from when I was little and like seeing them spark memories. So I know she was a lot more active than I remembered with me. Like the first apple pie I ever made was with her, and we had this little tree right outside of the trailer, and I remember she sent me out, told me, pick good ones, don't pick any that are on the ground, because she already checked, and most of them, they weren't good. But we spent, several hours on it. We totally wrecked the kitchen, but it was fun and it was worth it. Anywho, Mother's Day, since I learned what it was, has been a pretty depressing time of year. Mother's Day, my mom's birthday, and different times a year are hard for me. There's Mother's Day, September 11th, which is when she died, and then September 22nd, 11 days later, is her birthday, and it's another day that I find difficult. I actually had a friend back when I would talk to her, who has the same birthday, and for a while, like, I just wouldn't talk to her on her birthday, because I just could not force myself to be happy, even for her. Well, my daughter, she turns 3, July 1st this year. My son, he turns 7, and, I came into his life around when, either his 4th or 5th birthday. I think it was one of the first times I ever actually, like, spent any decent time with him. He's not my flesh and blood. I view him as flesh and blood, but he is technically not. This year, I turned 23 in December, and it is the first year that Mother's Day has not been a depressing thought for me. And, when I realized last week, what this Sunday, excuse me, what this Sunday is, I expected, oh shit, it's going to be a terrible day, but it hasn't. It really hasn't, and I'm going to tell you part of why. I actually did a post on my Facebook earlier, and kind of explained part of this. So I'm actually going to read to you the post and make this a lot more simple than you just hearing me blah 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 blah, blah and all my halfway coherent thought processes trying to verbalize and my anxiety coming out and me just go I'm trying to think. So yeah, we're gonna do it this way. So here we go. Sunday won't be depressing. I know she's gone, but there is something I will never understand in full. Why do people say sorry when they find out she's gone? She's not depressed anymore. She's not afraid. She's not in pain. She's not starving herself anymore, which a lot of people I don't think actually knew about that. I don't have any pictures, otherwise I would show you. My mom was either anorexic or bulimic to the point where I really hated when he would do this. My dad actually nicknamed her Skeletor, and I take this as a little bit of a racist joke because my mom and I were both born in Germany. She was born in Stuttgart, and I was born in my birth certificate says Ruthweiler or Ruthweiler. Sorry, V's and W's are pronounced opposite of each other. So basically him saying that she looked like a concentration camp survivor. Anyways, she really did look that bad. If you look at pictures and if I had any photos of her at that time, she really didn't look that different. She just didn't look like she was dying in the face and like she'd lost all hope in the world. I technically have a couple photos. They're on her memorial poster, but I'm really not digging that up. Anywho, but yeah, she was the furthest from healthy at that point. Anyways, she's not starving herself anymore. She's not crying anymore. So why are you sorry she's gone? Do I miss her? Yes. A decade without her has been agonizing, but if given a chance, would I bring her back? No. Regardless of how she died, I would not bring her back to further go through the hell that she went through. I've forgiven her for not being active in my life, for the distance, for how it was when I lived with her. I've never hated her, not once. I know not everybody has understood why I've held her so high up on a pedestal. Even in death, she resides upon it. But what more do people need other than she's my mother, and she has my unconditional love, and she has had it from the start, even when she died, and that it'll never change. But her absence has taught me something. The love a mother is given, whether people think she deserves it or not, is only dictated by the hearts of her children. I look to Derek, my fiance, and his siblings, seeing how much they love their mother. I haven't known her long and was honestly terrified to meet her. Why? Because any mother who loves and respects her children, who is also loved and respected in return, and has such amazing children as Derek and his siblings, is a woman not to mess with. I didn't want her to dislike or be disappointed in Derek's choice in a partner and mother to his child. She's spunky and a total smartass, and it's clear where Derek and his siblings get some of the way they are, but she loves them dearly and often worries about them. And she's helped us sometimes when she had no business trying to help us financially, but she knew we were going through a hard time, and she helped us anyways. And every time she has done it, like, it goes further than just, oh, here's a little something to get you by. Like, it's, you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain this to you. I look to Leanne, the only mother I've truly known and loved in full as my own mom. I look to her sons, of whom I often refer to as my half-brothers, and how much they love her, how much I love her, how much she has been there for me, how much my mother loved her, and how comforting it was to be told by her that my mother was passing than to have it just thrust upon me. She's guided me through so much and has taught me never to limit your happiness or ambitions. I look to Anne, my beloved adopted grandmother. She was a mother to my mom and has been for us both since not long after we came to the US in late 1996. Don't actually know when my mom met her, but or when I initially did, but we no, I'll just finish reading this. We've been close since 2006, and there's much I've opened up to her about that no one else, other than maybe Derek, knows about. She's encouraged my independence, my aspirations, dreams, prowess, and happiness in every way that she could, every step of the way. She's been there when nobody else could or would be, and has never, ever turned me away. I look to all the mothers I have known thus far, and how each of them teach in their own ways. Of the children they have that I know, how amazing their children are. I look to the people I am close to and know that at least some of them are who they are because they have had a mother or guardian that stood by them through thick and thin and never let them give up. Yes, I know some of you were raised by your fathers or a male guardian. I also understand that not everybody has kids that are human, you've got what people call pets. But my point is almost everybody I know that is fucking awesome. At some point or another, there was an influence in their life like that. And for the majority, almost every single one of those people that I am close to, it was their mom or their aunt or their grandma or a best friend. But there was, you get where I'm going with this. Anyways, and so I look to my children. I look to how much I love them and they love me. How much Erin loves to cuddle, play, watch anime and Supernatural just because mommy does. And she'll still sleep at my side all day if I let her. I look to how fast Jasper and I have bonded. Jasper is Derek's son, and now mine. I look to how he loves to dress up and play ghosts and zombies. How much he loves tickle fights and pillow fights. How much he loves to draw with me, Derek, Clayton, Steven, etc. Derek woke me up yesterday after he picked Jasper up because he wanted to give me something. I work night shifts and Derek works evening shifts. He literally gets home right before I have to leave to go to work. And he has to pick up Jasper from school an hour before he has to go to work. So he actually cut off some of his prep time to get ready for work just so that they could do this. But Jasper, his class, they were each given a flower that they could give to their moms or their grandmas or aunts, for Mother's Day. And he knows that my favorite color is purple. So when he went up to his teacher, who was a wonderful woman, he asked specifically for a purple one. So I woke up to him wanting to give me this. I cried and I hugged him because he wanted to do something so sweet. I didn't really know what to say. Thank you. It was his idea after he moved in with his dad and my home, into our home, to call me mom and his birth mother mommy, because he knows he doesn't have to choose between the two of us. If he ends up doing that, that's his choice later in life. But none of us want him to do that. None of us want him to choose between us. And the fact that he was so mature about this, that he wanted to accept both of us as his moms, that he was willing to allow me in as a second mom. I love my babies. I love my babies. And I love my daughter. But I mean, some of you know when I was pregnant, it was about halfway through the second trimester that we found out, that she was a girl. I've got about 10 nieces. Most of them aren't actually blood. I think maybe 2, 3 are. But we were hoping for a boy, because I have one nephew. I don't know. I really, really wanted a boy. I'm a major tomboy. I don't know how to do the girly girl crap. And I love my daughter. I love her to death. And sometimes it chokes me up because I want to look at her. I don't just see me. I see my mom. Because when I was little, I've seen pictures of when she was, Erin's age. I've seen pictures of when I was Erin's age, and all three of us looked like we could be sisters. And it's watching my babies grow, knowing that I have both a son and a daughter that love me so much, that I love so much. It's a wonderful thing. So Mother's Day is not a depressing day. I have learned so much from my mother, even in her absence, and continue to. And I hope to teach my children to love their lives and never stop dreaming. I know not all of you have moms. Some of you do, and you're not close to it. But I want you to know something. For those of you that do, unless something has drastically happened or dramatically happened that you and your mom just don't have anything to do with each other, I don't care if you live on the opposite side of the globe, call her, write her, Skype or FaceTime or whatever, but at least say hello. Tell her that you love her. And I know it's hypocritical for me to say this because my mom died and I have nothing to do with my father. My reasons are personal. But you only get that set of parents once. You may get close to people that end up being like parents to you, but you only actually have one set of parents. I know I said that I would never bring my mom back. But you have no idea how many times I have laid awake at night crying out for my mom. How much it pains me knowing that she's gone. I am almost 23 years old, and I have never gotten into a physical fight with somebody. You have no idea how many times growing up I have heard people say, "Oh my god, I hate my mom. Oh my god, I wish my mom would just die. I wish she'd leave me alone. I wish she'd just go away." And I have wanted to beat the fucking shit out of them for it because they don't realize what they have. They don't realize what they're saying. You don't get it. Because once she's gone, she's gone. And once that happens, you can't take those words back. You just can't. To answer the question that I got asked so much as a child, why the hell I put my mom so high up on a pedestal? It's because despite how little I saw my mom, despite the problems we had, she is one of the only people from the start who understood and took the time to try. I didn't ask to leave her house because she and I had problems. And I still say that leaving her home was a terrible idea. I love my mom, and I am thankful to be one. So please, if you have someone, I don't care if it's a man or a woman, trans, whatever, if there is someone that you love, that has influenced you, that has filled that role for you, even if it's just a best friend, call them. And I don't just mean tomorrow. I mean call them, text them, go see them. Hey, do you want a cup of coffee or tea or juice or whatever? Try to spend time with them. We don't live forever. Neither do they. And when one of you is gone, the other is going to look back on the time that you had together and all the chances you had to spend time with them, and you're going to wonder, why the hell didn't I? So, to wrap this up, happy Mother's Day. And don't ever forget to let the people you know that you love, don't ever forget to let them know that you love them. And don't ever forget the people that love you. Not for a second.